Well, it is a shock. People looking at you now after looking at the clips. From day one in this picture, you're in makeup.
Yeah.
Let's see, you span how many years in this thing? About 30 years?
Yeah, in her 30s. No, 40 years.
Mm-hmm. That's okay by you, huh? To be in makeup
Okay
in
by
every
me.
scene.
Okay by me. It's
Okay.
a story I really wanted to do. But the makeup was, the oldest part was like 4.5 hours, 5 hours. So it was sitting in the chair, have your skin done everything you shouldn't do to a skin. You know.
Long-term effects from that, you look fine, but what happens day to day after? Ew.
Actually, during the shooting, when they did the prosthetics, it was fine because it was glued on the face. When they did the finer wrinkles in the younger age, when they just pull your face eye down like this and stretch your skin and put latex on and then blow dry it with a dryer, and I think anybody would recommend you not to do it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not very good for you, but it's fine. You know, you recover.
You have been in the business a long time. As a teenager, I guess you won the equivalent of an Oscar in China.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Shanghai Film Studio. That's got to be one of the most active centers in the world of film, right?
It used to be very, very active. I mean, the center of film in China used to be. Then Xi'an Film Studio took over. That's where Zhang Yimou came from with all the other films. But Shanghai is still very, very active. Yeah, that's where I started. Yeah, they came to my high school when I was 13, and they picked me, and I was happy.
And how would training there differ from a young actress's training in this country?
I think it's just as different as the lifestyle is, because over there, the Chinese people are less demonstrative. But in film is a Western language that Chinese adopted. So you have to be more, to get rid of your inhibition more, to be more open, to show your emotion, which is a big class, because we're not usually that way.
How about the physical training, like things like martial arts, opera training, voice training, all of that?
We, in our acting school, we did have the physical training of martial arts and voice training. But acting-wise, we study Stanislavski, so it's, you know, it's the same thing.
Now, you've been back and forth enough. I guess we could call this one heck of a commute, right?
Yeah.
From Los Angeles to China. Is it still something, it's a regular part of your career in any sense?
It is. I do about one Chinese movie a year. Last year I did a movie, it's a Hong Kong movie. We were competing in Venice, and I think it's going to come here. And I'm going back next year, beginning of next year, to do another Chinese film. So I try to still go back and do movies there.
Anything?
It is a commute, long commute.
Anything in your own background? I mean, almost everyone in this picture seems to be having reunions in their lives, generations coming together, as is depicted in the movie. Anything comparable in your own background as well? Or has your family been together all this time?
Well, when I was a kid, my parents were sent away to re-educational camp.
Oh yes, the Cultural Revolution.
Yeah, so we had separations, family separations. And then when I came at the age of 19 to America, I didn't go home for 5 years. So that was a big separation. So I could remember my grandmother's face when I first went back, and I always remember that face when Layli came back in the film to visit the mother, and that was something I could relate to.
Indeed.
Yeah, we've gone through separations, and it's the most painful thing to separate a family, because we were taught the importance of it. I mean, it's everything. Especially when you're poor and have nothing, and during the Cultural Revolution, nobody outside of your family can be trusted, so the family is everything you've got. And when you have to be separated, it was a very sad thing.
Joan Chen, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
We're talking about heaven and earth. We're both here in New York City. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV.